Welcome to this HealthSherpa training video for agents and brokers. In this video, we'll walk through the application on HealthSherpa to highlight a new feature, Individual Coverage Health Reimbursement Arrangement Enrollment, also known as Individual Coverage HRAs or ICHRAs. For this walkthrough, we'll use a scenario for your client who has just been offered an Individual Coverage HRA and is applying for coverage through HealthSherpa. Once your client gets to the household step, they will select yes to see if they qualify for savings. The reason why this is important is to check for eligibility and to determine the affordability of the ICHRA. The client will go through the relevant household and income steps in the application process. After these sections are complete, they will reach a page in the application asking about existing coverage that will have an HRA section. They will then be asked if they already have an Individual Coverage HRA. If not, they'd skip this section and continue to the next question. They are then asked whether they have an Individual Coverage HRA offer that they have not yet accepted. Because your client knows they are offered the ICHRA but have not yet accepted it, they would check the box next to their name here. Your client will then be asked if they can use the Individual Coverage HRA within the next 60 days. Then, your client will be asked which employer offers them the Individual Coverage HRA. Your client would select the employer who offers them the Individual Coverage HRA or add a new one. More questions will then show up asking them about the Individual Coverage HRA offer. In this case, your client's Individual Coverage HRA will start January 1st, 2021 and will continue through the end of the year to December 31st, 2021. So enter both dates on this page. Finally, your client will be asked to enter the dollar amount of reimbursement funds that are available through their Individual Coverage HRA offer from the employer, as well as the frequency of the reimbursement. This information will be used to determine the affordability of the ICHRA and their eligibility for marketplace savings. Your client will then be asked to provide the contact information of the person at the job who manages employee benefits. The phone number is required, but the rest is not. Your client is free to enter other information like email address, name, as well as the address of the person at the job. After this is complete, your client will be asked if they are also offered traditional health coverage through their or someone else's job. Your client is only offered a health reimbursement arrangement by their employer. They are not offered employer-sponsored coverage through their job or through the job of another person, so they will skip this page and continue to answer questions about life events and recent changes. Because your client is newly offered an Individual Coverage HRA through their employer, they'll provide more information about the offer. These questions are used to determine eligibility to enroll in coverage outside of an open enrollment period through a special enrollment. They will then be asked about the HRA offer. The client knows they've been offered an Individual Coverage HRA rather than a Qualified Small Employer HRA or QSERA. They'll know this because it's stated in the notice from their employer, so they'll select Individual Coverage HRA. The client should have received a notice from their employer 90 days before today, informing them about the Individual Coverage HRA offer, its start and end dates, and the amount of reimbursement available to them. They'll enter the date the notice was sent here. Based on the notice provided to the client by their employer, they know that their Individual Coverage HRA will begin in January, so they'll enter the relevant start date. This client isn't currently enrolled in an HRA through their employer, so they will test no to the question asking whether they already have an Individual Coverage HRA. The client would complete the final steps of the application process, including review, attestations, and signature, and submit the application for eligibility determination. Because the marketplace calculated your client's reimbursement through their Individual Coverage HRA would make marketplace coverage affordable, they're not eligible for savings. In this case, your client could accept the Individual Coverage HRA from their employer and use the reimbursements to help pay for marketplace premiums. If the Individual Coverage HRA did not make marketplace coverage affordable, your client would see their eligibility for tax credits here if applicable, and could instead decide to use that instead of the Individual Coverage HRA, but would need to opt out of the ICHRA with their employer. Because it is currently open enrollment, this client can enroll up until the deadline date for 2021 coverage in their state. However, if we were outside of an open enrollment period, your client's newly offered Individual Coverage HRA would qualify them to enroll in coverage outside of the open enrollment period through a special enrollment period. Keep in mind that clients who are offered an HRA may be eligible for this special enrollment period even if they opt out of their health reimbursement arrangement. If you or a client need support in answering application questions about individual coverage HRAs, please don't hesitate to contact the HealthSherpa team at 888-684-1373 or email us at ICHRA_support@healthsherpa.com. Thank you for watching this training and using HealthSherpa.